Welcome to Embrace Your Inner Boldness, the podcast dedicated to empowering you to live confidently, embracing all parts of who you truly are. I'm Melissa Henning-Frank, and I'm the founder, success coach, and consultant of Becoming Bold, LLC, and you can count on me to be your guide on this incredible journey of self-discovery and transformation. Let's get right to it. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Embrace Your Inner Boldness. Today, we're talking about a topic that I know many of you can relate to. It's overcoming tough times and dealing with stress, dealing with low energy, and maybe even a touch of self-doubt. So if you're feeling a little bit stressed or down or unsure of yourself, this episode is for you. Also, if you live in an area where it's the middle of winter and the days are dark and cold, I sure do feel you. Biologically, we're in hibernation mode, and socially, we're expected to still be in drive and hustle mode, and that is really exhausting. So this episode is here to lift you up, fire up your energy, and remind you of the incredible strength and potential you have within. So rise and shine, grab your favorite morning beverage, take a deep breath, and let's get ready to conquer this day together. First things first, I want you to really know in your soul that you are not alone. We've all got these moments when we question ourselves, question others, feel overwhelmed, or just plain feel like we're on the struggle bus. And guess what? That's so incredibly normal. It's part of being human. So let's start with a little compassion and self-love. Take a moment to acknowledge your feelings without judgment. Remember, it's perfectly okay to have tough days. Be kind to yourself, just as you would be to a friend who's going through a rough patch. Now let's talk about being present in the moment. When life gets chaotic, it's easy to do what I refer to as time travel. So this is where we get lost in the past or worry about the future. But the real magic happens in the present moment. Take a few deep breaths and center yourself. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Feel the air filling your lungs. And today, let's make a conscious effort to be present. Notice the little things. Maybe the sun is out today, so notice the warmth of the sun. Notice the sound of the birds chirping. Notice the taste of your coffee. It's actually these small moments of mindfulness that can anchor us and bring a sense of calm and clarity. And if this doesn't feel natural to you, just start small. Make it a goal to practice mindfulness maybe 1 minute a day for the first week, 2 minutes the second week, 3 minutes the third. You get the picture. Our brains have one job, and that is to keep us alive. And this does not always serve us well because we don't always have to be in survival mode. It's a waste of energy. If we're in survival mode, we're consistently looking for things that could or might threaten our well-being. So guess what happens? If we're always looking for shit, we're always going to see shit. Interestingly enough, it's people on their deathbed whose advice is to not sweat the small stuff, and they say it's all freaking small stuff in the grand scheme of things. So imagine your future self. Are they proud of how you're handling the tough times? Or do they wish they had been more compassionate, more kind, more focused on humanity? So break the cycle. Live with intention. Be present. Being present in the moment breaks that naturally reactive tendency over time, and it allows us to focus on the good that exists right here and now. It's a learned behavior to be able to focus on the present moment, but we're smart people who can learn new things, are we not? So it's very possible that you're finding yourself tense and bothered more than usual lately. As I'm recording this, it's February 2025, so if you know, you know. The news and the social media are very triggering at the moment. And that said, one of the most powerful tools we have is the ability to choose our response to any situation. So instead of reacting impulsively, we can take a moment to pause, to breathe, and respond thoughtfully and with intention instead of out of irritation, anger, or any energy that puts out that negative vibe, because you don't want that coming back to you. When you're faced with a conflict or challenging situation today, practice this. Take a step back, assess the situation, and choose a response that aligns with your values and intentions. This simple shift can transform how you navigate conflicts and improve your relationships. There's no reason you have to immediately react to every single thing that comes your way. So speaking of conflict, let's dive into how we can handle it with emotional intelligence. Conflict is a natural part of life. You've heard me say this many times before, but how we handle it makes all the difference. So approach conflicts with empathy and understanding. And yeah, I know that's not going to be easy for a lot of us. It's something that takes a ton of practice, but it's so worth it. Listen actively, validate the other person's feelings, and express your own thoughts clearly and respectfully. Remember, it's not about winning or losing. It's about finding a resolution that honors both parties' perspectives. And with practice, you'll become a master at navigating conflicts calmly and effectively. I'm not saying we should lay back and let people walk all over us or say or do things that are unacceptable. What I'm saying is, don't perpetuate hate. Respond in a way that allows us to move forward with positive intent. Be the influencer versus being influenced. Be the thought leader that helps us all get out of this seriously weird game we're expected to be pawns in. Maybe stop being the pawns altogether. Maybe we should be the leaders. Lastly, let's talk about the importance of remembering the humanity in ourselves and others. We are all doing the best we can with the tools we have, and you may not agree with that statement, but I do believe it to be true. Extend grace to yourself and those around you. Understand that everyone, every single person, has their own battles and struggles that you probably don't know anything about. When you approach life with compassion and empathy, you create a ripple effect of kindness and understanding. And don't forget to celebrate your own humanity. Acknowledge your strengths, your resilience, and the unique qualities that make you who you are. Do your best to remember that different doesn't mean wrong necessarily. We are all human beings, regardless of our differences, regardless of our preferences or the choices we make. Our conditioning and our programming in partnership with these brains that are doing all they can to make sure we survive cause us to automatically jump to assumptions and conclusions that probably aren't even true. Again, different does not necessarily mean wrong. Let's just be kind humans regardless. I get really frustrated when people say it's impossible for us to live in a world that prioritizes love, kindness, and humanity. It's only impossible, in my opinion, to those who aren't willing to try. So they're not willing to be that person who does prioritize love, kindness, and humanity, regardless of what others are doing. Imagine if more of us did prioritize love, kindness, and humanity. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes practice, but we can, and I believe we will, get there. This is truly the way. All right, beautiful souls, as we wrap up this pep talk, I want you to remember that you are capable, you are strong, and you are worthy. No matter what our similarities or our differences are, no matter what challenges come your way, you have the inner resources to create a better world. Today, let's consciously choose to be present, respond thoughtfully, navigate conflicts with emotional intelligence, and embrace the humanity in ourselves and others. We've got this. Until next time, please be kind to your mind and other people's minds too. Take care. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of Embrace Your Inner Boldness. I hope you found inspiration and actionable tips to help you live more confidently. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on the latest insights and empowering stories. Please take a moment to also leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and be able to continue bringing you more content that uplifts and motivates. Empowering yourself and/or your team starts with embracing your inner boldness. When we stop playing small, we open the door to limitless potential. Remember, the only limit to your greatness is the one you set for yourself. Stay bold, stay fearless, and let's make this journey unforgettable.